Welcome back to another exciting episode of No Quest for the Wicked. Gentlemen, I have two questions for you. First and foremost, are you ready to rock?
I am.
Yeah, I
tentatively,
think
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And, more importantly, are you ready to roll?
Role play.
Roll off to another universe that's not fucked.
That's possible. Still on the table.
It is.
We'll see what happens.
That is a good segue into a quick little recap. You have successfully averted Peniteris' reckoning. You were able to quell the psychic resonance that was persisting after she had died. You were able to reconcile those pieces and put her to rest. However, over the course of that, Eridaxis, the last living VII, witnessed the horrors that Peniteris was subjected to. And through that, he realized that the VII's sacrifices were mostly in vain, as many of the problems they tried to solve were still persisting, or were ultimately destroyed by the greed and hubris of the people that they tried to save. As a result, Eridaxis has picked up the mantle for Peniteris and is looking to do a hard reset and try again. In order to do that, he needs to wipe out Casa-Mal and presumably the rest of the universe. You guys are tasked with mounting the defense against the last living VII. You have reason to believe that he has returned home to the fold in order to conjure his own army. The fold is the place where the universe ends and expands from. Like an ever-weaving tapestry, always being created, the fold is constantly folding out and expanding the universe. However, within the fold itself, anything can be created if you have the power and dominion over it. However, as Astrid has warned you, going into the fold unprepared could completely unravel yourselves. So Astrid is currently working with the brightest minds of Therum to figure out a way to safely get you into the fold. That gives you guys a bit of time to reach out to allies or potential fighters and mount a defense against the incoming invasion. You have left Exium 12. Unless you guys want to do something on Exium 12, but I think you guys have...
Can we recruit Exium 12?
You know that Exium 12 is sympathetic to the VII cause.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but like some good diplomacies, just
just let us roll
crack it and be like, bring a planet
if you want to
the army.
Honestly, I'm done arguing with that stupid fucking planet.
Yeah.
I think we did that for like 3 episodes. I think I'm over it. I think they can chill.
What if one more Merrick speech is all we need?
Yeah. Ugh. For a planet, it was really stubborn, all right?
Yeah, you would have thought planets would be more chill. I don't know why.
Does a planet mood matter how far away it is from the sun?
Yeah, well, if we put it near the sun, would it be happier?
Would it be warmer?
How do we move? Let's change the gravitational pull of this whole system. That won't be bad.
Yeah, who needs Eridaxis? You guys will just ruin the entire solar system by pulling everything into gravitational chaos.
Also, maybe that's what happens. If we bring it over to our side, it leaves orbit and starts to go through, just pulls all the other planets out of alignment. We're like, oh no.
I always saw Exium as like huge, like Jupiter huge, and I don't know why. It's always been my headcanon.
It's a very big planet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you guys are in orbit around Exium, or wherever you have chosen to drift for the moment, and Azin has suggested that you call your friends. There's the whole crew is sort of like gathered around in the tavern to sort of brainstorm who that might mean.
Cody's wheeled out the whiteboard again.
I was about to say, Zelda's got the whiteboard, yeah. Awesome, Cody, you read my mind.
What's on the whiteboard right now?
It's the bats that we had on the front. On the back, there's what do you think's on the back?
Some sort of drawing. I want to say just dicks, but that doesn't feel quite right.
I think like a half-finished, really cute like drawing of the crew that Short Jack was working on that he didn't want anyone to see. I flip it around. He's like, "Oh, wow, this is great."
Yeah, whoever did that must have been really talented.
All right, we'll flip it around. I don't think we're getting the party, so I think we can erase that side.
Start erasing it.
Okay, so we're going to make a list of people who may potentially
Okay.
want to help us.
Also, people who are really strong.
Yes. I think the top of our list should be Sononis Prime. But I know
course.
they've taken the worst hit, but we have to ask.
They are
Alright,
they're the
Sononis.
obvious ally in all of this, really.
So Sononis
Um,
Prime.
So people who are powerful who may not want to help us. I look at Asin.
The
Is Lady Emberheart dead?
plan's gone, Cody.
Yeah, but Asin survived, and
Asa, how'd you
Emberheart
survive that? We never really got the story on that one.
She was super powerful, so I don't know if she can just exist in space.
But she'll come and kill us. So
She
I
might.
don't
Yeah,
think-
that's why I'm not putting her in the people who want to help us list, but I am putting her in the powerful list because
Well, she doesn't belong on the top, clearly, but like maybe 5th or 6th.
I'll just do people who might want to help us ? And people who might want to help us ?
We'll do columns. It'll work out. We'll make this work.
Azim looks at you when you bring up Lady Emberheart, and like you can see wheels turning. He sort of is piecing everything together and trying to figure out how he can make this work. I was able to survive the cataclysm on Euceron because, well, I'm able to teleport, or I was able to teleport. I was able to sort of devolve myself into the silver liquid and reform wherever I wanted to. When I saw what was happening, we fought for as long as our rage would allow, but when it came time to abandon ship, I did. Lady Emberheart could have survived. She was a formidable creature. We could go back to Euceron and check. I don't know if we would be able to coexist, considering the circumstances. However, if we frame it in the way that Eridaxus and the Valai were sort of the root cause of all this, the whole reason I killed her husband was I needed the ministry to be able to mine the Iberium. If her husband continued down that path, the Iberium would have been stopped, and therefore the Project Dahlia would not have been finished. And that was sort of my first way to quell Peniteris. When that failed, I had a backup plan, but I needed the Iberium in order to make what we were making. And if those mines got shut down, which was her husband's plan, unfortunately it came at the cost of Euceron. But it was the way to stop Peniteris.
She may not listen, but technically you weren't you then, and now you're different you. So the you she hates is dead.
Well, I think this is more of a question for Cathan if he wants to go down this route.
Cathan has been very silent over this, and he stands up and he says, listen, if Emberheart is alive, I might be able to convince her. This whole thing is a mess. But if she knows that this could be a way to get revenge, it might be worth it. That is, if she's still alive.
Well, it's on the list.
Yeah, let's put it towards the bottom of things on the list that might get us killed. So, Cody, can you add another column for me, please?
Well, I think that's what the sad face column is.
Oh, but things that
Yeah.
could get us killed.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
sad
Put in that column.
faces want to help us, but we know. We know they
individuals. Now let's think larger groups. I think Surth.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough sell.
I don't know. He owes us a bunch of favors, doesn't he?
don't.
Or
Voltaire's
is he
kind
still-
of our bud. We
Yeah.
didn't kill him. We probably should have.
They just dance a lot, and I'm trying to figure out what fighting prowess we're going to be getting from them.
Lots
bodies.
of corpo armies.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe some corpo armies. I don't know. They
Maybe
owe us
a-
a favor. We'll call that one in. The Cube and us aren't really pals, but I feel like we have to give them the chance.
I don't know who they have left to spare.
Their security?
Do we know, has Nyx returned to the cube at all? Or is he still floating?
You don't really know. You haven't checked in with Nyx in a while. You know his name was cleared. When you guys cleared your name, Nyx was sort of like reinstated.
Mhm.
So he's back to full force.
Mhm.
But I don't remember the last time you guys ran
It's
into
been a hot
Nyx.
minute, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Nyx could do, but at the very least, maybe he could outfit some of our crew, or maybe he has some cool gear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also-
Nyx is a good one on the list.
we definitely got to add this one. And beside Voltaire and Sirth, I write Ratman.
All right.
You know what?
You know what, Cody?
That should be
is a man of mystery.
That's the top of our list, I think. Give him enough time to prepare.
You can find anybody.
We have such an ace in the hole right now.
All right.
We need Ratman.
Ratman on the list. Hey, I guess whatever's left of the body of government, is Astrid in charge now? Who's in charge now?
Well, they have an army, right? So
yeah, they must have something left. I don't know who's in charge because everyone is dead. I think that the top 3 people all toast.
Yeah, the sort of like foundation of the minister of the Federation of Councils is kind of decimated. Handros, Sybil are all dead, so there's kind of a power vacuum, and they haven't really had a chance to figure that out.
Is Sev Drepka still alive?
You would have to check.
Okay. Who's a Sev Drepka? Which one is it?
That was the Vesk in charge of the mechs.
Oh yeah,
she's the commander of the Archons.
The coolest one. So that's all we need. Fuck them all. We got the mech commander. We're good.
We got Ratman. We got the mechs.
Do we think we have time to run a presidential campaign to get Astrid elected as super president, so we can just have full power there? Do we have time for that? How long is this going to take?
I'm sure we could pitch some emergency powers her way.
Yeah. We saved everybody. We should get a super vote, right?
One big vote. One big super vote.
One big vote. One big vote.
Politics. Oh, Short Jack.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Short Jack stands up and he's like,
my liege.
Kakinto and me will be there, for sure.
With Merlot and his licky orb, we can't lose.
When I was there and Merlot kind of gave me the rundown, we have a pretty impressive fleet. It's not big, but it's there. So, yeah, me and Kakinto will be at this fight, without a doubt.
We got a W. It's been 15 minutes and we've got a dub, everybody. I take out a big green marker and I circle Short Jack Kakinto.
We have so many friends. While we're at Therum, what do we think Dr. Ross and Link could help? They know science stuff. Maybe they won't be in the front lines.
They're probably helping Astrid right now with the fancy doohickey.
That's fair.
I just wish we could know what we're going against, right? Because we're going in blind, unfortunately.
I'm picturing just large, very silver-looking generic army. So lots of little soldiers, big ships
that they can just infinitely spawn. Though,
yeah,
is there a limit?
One of those sci-fi movies that I know Cody usually likes the action ones. Just pick a generic sci-fi movie and just visualize generic alien army is what I'm picturing.
What about Endgame 1 at the end where there's all the weird animal alien floods?
Yeah, maybe there's animals. I don't know, maybe, but you'd know.
I do need to apologize. I actually finished Heat and it didn't go well. So that's not the movie we should be referencing.
That's the real arc.
That's the character. Durrin finally watches the end of Heat.
Man, I had the wrong ending in my mind on that movie.
Speaking of elephants, Short Jack, can Triador move?
No.
Okay,
well, we could message Patience and see what he's
Patience,
saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Patience, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened to Kaya. I'm sure the Verdant Guard will be ready to fight.
That's a pretty good lineup, guys.
Anyone else want to add to this before we start making some quick calls?
I kind of look around.
Where have we been? That's everywhere we've been, right?
Trying to think. I'm sure there's places we're missing. And the audience is currently screaming at us.
I have one thing I want to do. And I put it, I write the blood letters in the third column that says, help us, sad face.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, universe ending is a good pitch, I suppose.
They maybe got gooped. Maybe they got hurt by the bad stuff.
I think right now we talked to the planet and we said we're going to do second chances. So I think it's worth a shot. And if they're not willing, I don't think we should leave evil people behind while we're all out of system. Think of what they could do. So I think one way or another, we gotta do something about them.
Cody, are you saying they either join us or we annihilate them?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
You mean, so we build a super army, so they either have to join us or our super army just runs them over?
I say we go to them and we go, hey, you were bad, and And we're willing to not punch you until you're not moving if you're willing to help us. And if not, we punch them until they're not moving.
We're already talking about emergency powers, too. There's no way this could go poorly in any way, shape, or form.
We're not becoming a fascist state at all.
Yeah, we have to. If we make any of these, we have to make sure that there's clear guidelines that like, this will never happen again. Like, don't abuse this. Don't use this as precedent. Like, one-time thing.
While we're out of state, we just need to burn a few bucks to make sure while we're gone, no one gets the wrong ideas and silence all the artists and writers.
Yeah, we can't.
Cody, take a lap. Can you just take a lap for me? Can you just go watch a movie? Go put on your favorite soundtrack for a hot second.
I've been watching some movies. That's where these ideas are from.
What have you been reading lately, Cody?
We have on one side Sononas, Cirth, Ratman/Voltaire, Nyx, Savdrapka, Merlo/Kakinto, Patience. In the Help Us ? Column, we have nobody. Oh, we also, and then in Help Us Sad Face, we have Emberheart and Bloodletters.
I mean, Azin, you've been fucking around the system lately. Anything you need to add to this list? Who have you pissed off that we can't add?
Azin walks over and adds his name to the Help Us list.
But you're already part of the crew.
Yeah, unfortunately, my past little operation was a one-man show, as you guys know.
Well, yeah, but like, who did you piss off along the way, more so?
Oh, all these people on this list.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe we don't bring Azin to any of the negotiation parts.
Yes.
Can we give him a disguise?
Yes. No,
I can hang back.
Right, you're too happy about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
you're too excited about the disguise.
Maybe like a doctor's coat and a mustache. And you can hide in the medical bay.
Azin says, I'll hang back. I understand that diplomacy is not exactly my strong suit, and for those who have been paying attention to recent events, especially humans, not exactly big on their list. So I'll let you guys do the talking, and when it comes to punching, I'll be there.
Okay.
Right.
Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay. I start writing on the in the middle column.
What are you writing?
My brain is not working, so give me 1 second.
I thought that was all dramatic pause for a hug.
It makes no sense that I cannot remember this. Jalen Mazo. Jesus fucking Christ.
the person who's pivotal to your story?
Yeah, exactly. That's why my brain was melting. I
yeah.
Jalen Mazo.
Where is he? We should probably pick him up before we...
Yeah, was he bleeding out last time we checked?
Yeah,
you guys stabilized him. He was not well, but like in game terms, he was like 5 HP.
Can we scan? Is his ship still on the planet?
Yeah, I just kind of assumed he died.
You can do a little scan and you can tell that his ship is still there.
The Devil of the Stars is still there. Okay, great. I don't know where we stand with Mazo. He's
a criminal and will be put in jail when this is done. But he could do what he can to make reprimands, I guess.
I mean, we could just disable his ship and let the planet decide his fate.
Oh, I think we convince him that Cody's his son and sign all his wealth over to Cody. So Cody becomes very rich, and then we have a big war fund.
I don't like that one. But I do like having him help us and then putting him in jail, because he's a pretty bad guy.
I mean, he's not going to help us if he knows he's going to jail right after.
He probably will. Maybe he feels really bad. Some powerful drug.
Tell him that part.
So I will say that of utmost importance, if you want to reach out to Mazo, this is probably your chance to do it.
Okay. Get him on the line.
I guess that's
Contact the Devil of the Stars.
There is like a moment where it just keeps like ringing, and then eventually it picks up, and Mazo is sort of like bracing himself against the console, looking down at the screen, and he says, "Yes."
It's us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He closes his eyes and he nods and he says, "So it's done?"
No.
Some of it.
No, you messed up real bad. Yeah. The whole dissecting Penny thing, a little bit of overkill. The last Valai, who we thought was on our side, is now picking up where Penny left off.
The amount of mess that we're kind of cleaning from you it's pretty big.
It's very substantial. Like, bleach, not doing the job here. We're gonna have to buy a new carpet.
He takes a deep breath and sighs and looks at you and he says, "What do you need from me?"
An army?
He thinks, and for a second he like disappears into the background. You can see him like tapping on things, and then comes over your way, and he says, I have a lot of and he like taps something on the screen, and then like a thing pops up on your screen, and it's like the schematics for those security droids that were like stalking around and attacking you guys,
the assassin ones
in the facility. And like a various like combat models of robots that he
pressed the button, and like 8 of them decloak in our pile. He's like, you can use those guys. We're like,
he says, I can shift the stock of manufactured defense robots to wherever you need, and at least fodder that won't cost any more lives.
Yeah, thank you. I guess it is sort of necessary that you contribute to this, but I guess hold tight, don't die, and we'll come find you when this is over.
If you know any like resources for a good PMC, we'd appreciate that too.
What the fuck's a PMC?
Private military company.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Did you work with the Bloodletters? Can you get us a hotline?
Do you know where Salvian is? Or Zoc?
He looks at you and he says, I don't deal with those things. That's below me. I tell things to get done, and someone gets it done. It's probably not too difficult to get your hands on them. They are, after all, a mercenary, one of the most famous ones in the system. I'm sure you can find a way to contact them. Yeah, if you want, I can reach out, but
we'll do it.
You pretty much decimated my network of employees. So,
are you gonna come and join the fight?
He thinks for a second. He says, I think I've done enough here.
So where are you going? What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure.
Alpha's not gone.
What do you mean?
A little part of him still lives inside of me. We saw him down there. I look at Azin.
Azin comes to the screen and he says, Cody's telling the truth. Alpha's consciousness wasn't all lost. A fraction of it was able to be transferred into Cody before the accident. Alpha is still in there, somehow.
Just so that you have something to live for. But you need to stop being a bad guy.
He turns around, puts his back to the camera, and you can hear sort of like the quivering voice break of someone holding it together. And he says, when it comes to family, I never worried about morality. And I don't know if I ever will. I told you I would watch this system burn if it meant that I could have my wife and child back. And if that makes me a bad guy, then I'll be the bad guy. I don't want or care to be a hero. I just want my family.
Is there anything you want me to tell him when I see him next?
That I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll find you when this is over.
He turns around and cuts the screen.
All right, droid army. Okay.
Yep, robot army.
Can we have the column of the yeses, the successes?
Yeah.
A fourth column? Okay.
Yeah,
successes.
maybe a fifth of the no's.
Droid army. Are we including Merlo, or should we talk to him first just in case?
No, I think we're good. George acts like the boss, so he decides when they mobilize, I assume.
That's true.
George, do you want to make that call now and have
I believe you already
talk
did.
to yourself for a hot sec?
Oh, do you want to? Yeah, phone call yourself for me.
Yeah, that way Dane can really just fucking...
Wait, Shortjack's already writing something down. It says forced conscription.
Shortjack actually pulls up a tablet and he like twirls it around and he shows you sort of like slides of what...
It's just another drawing of the crew.
Kakinto's sort of like armada. And it's pretty fucking kick-ass. Like you kind of saw the ship that they had for that he crashed on. So like sort of like the style of ships. So I'm also going to make a list here. You got the droids and you have the cannon. So those are yeses.
I forgot that they were called. I just pictured you were giving us the giant cannon. Like we just had one really big cannon. I was like,
it's like hell yeah.
Where'd this cannon come from? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. We pay attention to our own story, guys. I promise.
Don't worry about it.
You see Cody adding another thing to the help us sad face column that just says the wreckers or the terrors. Sorry.
My mind feels like there is a big cannon somewhere that's planet size, but I don't think that actually ever happened.
No, I don't think so
I don't
either.
think so.
Yeah,
No.
it's just like the hat from.
Oh, you're thinking of the living cannon. Yeah.
Yeah, the living. Yeah, that's the living cannon. That is canon, right? That like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The living cannon that's canon, but not canon.
Yes.
You're just
It's not
thinking of Junon because of all my Final Fantasy VII references.
It must
in
be.
this
I also
campaign.
didn't play a lot of Crisis Core, so that hasn't helped.
Let's get Jahara on the line next. Let's keep the phone calls going.
Do you want us to leave the room?
I know.
That
was literally.
you might want to.
Also, let's
go.
talk about this really quickly.
Yeah, no
that
worries.
was literally a fantasy you all came up with to some mild tension and crisis between two people who barely spoke. And I let it keep going because you guys were having a lot of fun. And that's fine. It's cool to have fun. But we're dealing with a leader of a world that we need help to fight a war. So let's not bring up our silly jokes during this conversation, please.
No, I will remain quiet. Don't worry. It's all just you two. I get it.
I admit that I was hoping he would replace Azan because I didn't like Azan at that point, but now I do. So no more Jahara.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Azan. I'm still on board for Jahara.
How am I the youngest here?
I don't know.
Sure, you're calling Sononin?
Yeah.
Now, should we visit these places?
Well, I don't know how much time we have in story, because I know it'd be cooler to visit, but it takes us a little bit to get everywhere.
Out of context, I want to know, like, is there a limit? Like, do we have to pick our top 3 places? Can we visit them in person? Or, like, because I think if we are, it's more exciting than just, like, a phone call.
Yeah.
Yes, you can 100% visit these places.
Then let's go on a road trip. Road trip.
Great, yeah. If you want to go to Sonona's Prime, by all means.
I also need a nap.
Should we figure out which order we're going in, or just fucking go?
I don't think Dane's gonna kill us over miles, so I think we just pick our favorites and we'll just do a nice little bunch of cool vignettes of seeing all our old friends, getting the band back together like in a heist movie or something.
We don't have a phone number for Ratman, so we're gonna have to actually go visit him.
Oh,
you guys didn't figure that one out? Yeah, you guys figured. I Google Bryce. What was it? Bryce Wade Industries.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
I send an email. Hi, this is Merrick.
I walk over and I delete the email as he's trying to send it, and I say, "No, we already know how to get in touch with him." And I rustle through a cupboard and I pull out a dress and I look at Durrin.
No, never again. Never again.
But Durrin, it was so
it's
effective.
too much plaid.
No, this is a dress. This isn't your outfit. I pull that out too, though. I'm like, we've got to. If we're gonna win the hearts and minds of Sirth.
If it's between the two, I'll wear the dress. Of course.
Save that for
later. I don't think
Captain, am I wearing the dress?
Came because of the dress thing. I don't think that's what brought him. I think it was just a circumstance that billionaire Bryce Wade happened to be at that event. I don't think...
No, I'm talking about the alley. When we mugged Durrin, remember? You hid behind the dumpster?
Oh, no, you're right.
Oh, God. That. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Oh, on our ship? You think he's going to know that we're mugging Durrin in a dress on our ship?
We go to Sirth. Merrick, you do need a nap. Get to bed. That's an order, Captain.
We find an abandoned alley and you mug me.
That's a great plan.
One of the most successful things we've ever done. Possibly the most successful.
Okay, so we're going to start with Sonona's Prime, and then maybe we'll do another one of the not fun ones, and then we'll go to Sirth and have boozy milkshakes and rob Durrin.
Useron would be on the way, so you can go and check the Ember Heart status.
Yeah, cool. Oh, God,
yeah.
And while we're doing that, let's put out some feelers, see if we can find out where the blood letters are now that they're probably laying low after getting
their base
decimated.
is probably still outside Knee, right? Like we didn't blow up their main base.
I'm pretty sure we could just hire them too. I mean,
they're very
mercenary.
We are very poor.
You do know that there is a base outside Knee in the asteroid field, so yeah, you can check that out.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just figured they would not be there after everything that happened.
Yeah. We'll check it.
To Sononas.
Wonder if Astrid can pitch a pardon so we can just get a shit ton of old warriors from Knee.
What did the old warriors from Knee do?
Yeah.
Well, because they're kind of
yeah, it's like a like refugee planet.
Yeah.
Like it's a planet where they all
I
like it's like
I
an
thought you were
exile
talking about the canon for some reason. I was like, what do all the old rabbits do?
No, I mean the people who are actually there who either don't want to be there, like, hey, come fight for us.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think if you help save the planet, you should at least get reduced sentences.
Yeah. I'm going to send Astrid a text that says, yo, Astrid, you president yet? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Emergency powers? Question mark.
Yeah.
You just get a text back that just says, I fucking hope not. And then like sad faces.
She's the one we need.
She's the one we need.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I need to as well.
Okay, I'll fly us to Sazonoff.
Well, you can just hit a button and start us. You can also rest, Cody.
That's what I'm going to do. It just sounded cooler the other way.
All right.
Beep.
So yeah, you guys can finally take your rest. And unless there's something you want to do on the ship amongst the crew, it might be nice to do a little crew thing between every stop. So if there's anything you guys want to do amongst the crew, let me know.
I do have one thing. I'm gang stalking the shit out of Azin.
Well, what the hell does that mean?
I am on his... I'm watching him. Like, wherever he is, there's some maintenance that has to be done, right? Like, he just turns a corner, there I am, working just doing maintenance. It's not obvious, but I'm not being stealthy at all. I'm keeping my eye on him.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Okay, sure. I got a 28.
Okay. I didn't think I was going to roll dice here, but let me...
I'm not being stealthy. There's no stealth to this. This is all just me clearly keeping an eye on him.
I like the idea that you're wearing like a mask or like a mustache on like the whole time, just to be like, I'm not Durrin, I'm a different repairman.
As you are working and Azin is just kind of like chilling in the sort of like tavern, you look down to actually like do something, and when you look up, you can see just like the trail end of his hooded cloak disappear outside into the hallway. And you could tell that he's aware of what you're doing, and he's actively trying to shake you. Like he's going somewhere, and he thought that was his chance to get away from you.
Next time he comes out of his room, just right around the corner.
You could tell he was trying to break away from you.
Yeah, he's going somewhere sneaky right now.
Oh shit! Yeah, all right. Let's pursue. We're pursuing subtly.
I assume that's Merrick saying that over his shoulder.
He's up to no good. No, not subtly. Fuck it. Oh, there's an emergency over in that direction. Oh, I gotta go and just data pad and just rush after.
You see him once again, like as you grab all your stuff, you see him like disappear around another corner. You can tell that he is making his way to the reactor core.
Pursuing still, I guess. Now I'm nervous about pursuing.
As you get around another corner, you see the elevator close that goes down into the reactor, and from the window that looks down into it, you can see him like now go into the actual engine room.
I take the stairs.
You run down the little spiral stairs, like hopping over the railing.
Yeah, the railing going all the way down.
The door opens, and Azin is just standing there staring at you, essentially waiting for you.
There's an issue with the engine, if you'll excuse me. Routine things, sorry.
There's no engine problem, Durrin. You and I both know that.
Have you ever dealt with an arc reactor? There's always engine problems. It is never clean, but man, these babies, they can run forever.
I have a VII inside me, Durrin. I can practically talk to the thing.
I wasn't necessarily asking that, but okay.
I understand that you don't trust me. That's fine. I also would not trust me. In fact, I think it's weird that you are the only one who feels this way. But I want to make sure that when it comes down to it, when we are fighting for our lives and for the system and for our friends, that you don't hesitate because of your suspicions of me. I need you to know, to be absolutely confident that I fight for the people on this ship.
I don't believe you, but I won't hesitate.
He thinks for a second and he says, I'm not sure if that is good enough for me, but it's a start. When it comes down to it, Durrin, if it's between me and the people on this ship, I will choose the people on this ship. If it comes down to me and the people of Casa-Mal, I will choose the people of Casa-Mal. And if it comes down to me or you, I will choose you. I know I targeted you in the past. That's because you were the most dangerous.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
He walks past you and he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, don't hold back when we fight. I know you're holding back, I know you're running. It's time to run towards what we were. What we are. This is war, Durrin. And I think we're the ones that win it.
How we fight depends on you, though. If I see you go any which way, if I see you curve wrong, I won't hesitate either.
Exactly. And he leaves the engine room. You guys arrive at Sazonoff Prime. Well rested, finally recovered from the grueling day on Extium. And you sort of immediately get those like warning pings because you still Sazonoff Prime is still Sazonoff Prime, and you get the sort of like, you're entering a restricted airspace, like present your validation, blah 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 blah. And then
press my thing. I'm like, we're honorary citizens.
You keep getting all these like warnings and like target locks and everything, and then eventually a thing that comes up and just says like diplomatic override. And all the like warnings start going down and disappearing, and you are granted permission into Sazonoff Prime, and you pretty much get clearance for the like within that landing zone in the palace.
I set her down.
Do we ever get any documents supporting our citizenship or anything like that? It was just kind of a verbal thing.
Yeah, it was like a knighting kind of situation on the fly.
The I's and T's have been dotted and crossed, so like you are official Sononans, and like you have the clearance as shown there, where like you were able to like come in without having to input anything or talk to anyone, shows that you have sort of been put through the proper democratic and diplomatic sort of like process.
This is our first place we've been post reckoning. How bad shape is it? Like, obviously it was in bad shape when we left it last, but is it in like worse shape or?
It looks like this hasn't been touched since the invasion.
Okay,
it seemed like that was the reckoning plan for Sazonoff Prime was that invasion.
Okay.
It seems like they've had a full chance to sort of like recover and rebuild. Obviously, so much is still destroyed. Like a lot of the city is still destroyed because of just the nature of the fight. But it looks like they have erected sort of like emergency shelters for a lot of their population. There's like tents and stuff set up within the palace walls just for some of the more vulnerable citizens. And it looks like they are deep within their recovery efforts. And when you land, you are greeted with a small platoon of the Sonoran soldiers, as well as Jahara, who looks pretty worn out. He looks really, really tired. And when you guys disembark, he stands up tall. He's got his like giant spear, and he says, "I wasn't expecting to see you return so soon."
Yeah, there was an extra step to this whole saving the system thing we weren't expecting.
It's mostly done.
It's mostly done.
Got a war tactician you can spare?
And an army, perhaps?
Cody just thumbs up.
I'm gonna need a bit more information. What's happening?
Eridaxis is picking up the crusade of Penteteris and has gone to the fold to create a army from nothing, because apparently he's been able to do that this whole time. And yeah, we're going to go to war with Eridaxis, or he's going to eradicate everyone in the system, including Sazonoff Prime.
He turned on us.
You see him tip his head for a moment and like crack his neck, and he says, "You all did a great service for Sazonoff Prime. We have much to do here to recover from the attack, but we would have much more to do, or might not even have the opportunity to repair and recover if it wasn't for you. The Armada didn't take as much of the damage as we were expecting because so much of it was on the ground. And therefore, you protected Sazonoff Prime. We will protect you. The Armada is yours. We will command it. And when you need us, we will be there."
Thank you. I'm sorry to ask this. I know you guys have been through enough.
It may also mean fighting alongside some people you don't quite get along with right now.
He nods and he says, "I understand the circumstances within the Federation were unique. We've always had our tensions. But if this is as bad as you say it is, if we wish to protect Sazonoff Prime, we need to be a part of this fight. If we get to protect the rest of the system, that is a bonus. We will be there for you and for our people."
On the note of fighting alongside people we don't want to, I don't suppose you guys have any bloodletter prisoners that survived the attack?
The bloodletters were decimated. It seemed like, from what we can tell with those devices that we found, they were the blood sacrifice.
Just got them all, eh? Okay.
Yeah, because you remember everyone that took part of the fight on Sazonoff Prime was killed. But yeah, you have successfully recruited Sazonoff Prime.
All right.
Rat man.
Well, I think we're going to Euceron and then to Surth. And then we might as well go visit Astrid afterwards to see how the progress is and talk to the Federation.
Let's
much
go.
Not looking forward to Euceron, I guess.
I think it makes sense to do Therum last.
Oh, so before Therum, we got to throw in Patience.
Yeah, Kaya.
Oh, yeah.
Or Goa.
Yeah, you could do... Yeah. I think it makes sense to do Euceron, Surth, Kaya, and then back to...
Therum. Oh, and we have to throw in the bloodletter... We'll fly through some of these. Let's go!
Montage!
I think it's time to get the team back together.
It would be great if we could montage just us showing up to Emberheart. Emberheart's floating in space, and we're like, shrugging, and then she just thumbs up, and we just keep going.
That's it. We don't die. We don't.
She was just an element, right?
And in between every meeting, it's just us all partying in the cockpit, and then it's like back to like us bloodletters shrugging, thumbs up, big hug, everyone partying, more people in the cockpit now.
That's the whole vignette. Yeah, I don't think it's all going to go that well, but maybe we'll see. To Euceron.
Let's do bloodletters because Ni is close to Sazonoff Prime, so we'll do them. Is there anything anyone wants to do in between during travel time?
I want to find Merrick.
Yes. Merrick is sort of sitting with probably in his room, just like with his plant, sort of mumbling to it, writing in his journal.
I say, gotcha, and I run out. No. I knock on the door. Merrick, do you mind if I bother you for a minute?
No, you never bother me, Cody. My door is always open. Please, come on in.
I've seen it closed.
No, I never lock it. It's always available for someone to come visit me. The captain has to be available.
I'll come in way more often then. Thanks.
Yeah, please. No, it's completely fine.
I was wondering if you could teach me something.
Possibly. What is it that I can teach you, Cody?
Well, a lot, I think, but I've seen you do meditation with Short Jack. And when I saw Alpha in the fight, they said that they were here, and I point at my heart. And I think that's literal, but I also think it's metaphorical. I think they're inside me, maybe. And I was wondering maybe if meditation might be a way to talk to them.
All I can do is help you clear your mind and let everything else happen. It may work, it may not work. I can't make any promises, Cody, but I can help you sort of get there.
Yeah.
Please take a seat.
Okay.
On the ground.
Hi, tree.
The tree has party lights going.
Yeah, you see like a little hand wave out of the lights. Motes.
Silence.
Do I say
Darkness.
silence?
No, you just listen. You just listen and breathe. In, out. In, out. The focus here, Cody, is no quips, all right? Just focus. Silence. You feel a cold darkness on your arms, on your skin. Goosebumps. For a second, there's a flash of light. It comes quick, it comes hard, it comes fast. It's hot, you are burning, you are blazing. You feel the heat of the sun inside your heart. Calmness. You're in an open field. You hear grass blowing in the wind. You breathe in. You smell lilac. Another deep breath. You hear the chirping of birds. You realize that you're sitting under a tree, the shade protecting you from the harsh sun above. Deep breath. Silence. Open your eyes, Cody. In your heart. Who is sitting with you under this great tree in this great field? Who is the person you want to see? This is your home. Your family is always at home.
The moats surrounding your plant during this sort of guided meditation have begun sort of like swirling around you, almost making sort of like a wall of light around you. They begin coalescing in the center, and when you open your eyes, there is a silhouette, an outline of Alpha. Just for a moment, just for a brief second, you can see this shape. It's not 3D. It's literally just like the flat outline, like a paper cutout of him, and it reaches a hand out towards you, Cody.
And like, this is in the room. I'm seeing it.
Yep.
I reach a hand out too.
And as you touch this sort of like flat projection, there's a ripple of the lights, almost like you've like touched water, and it ripples out and it dissipates, and they go back towards the plant and begin swirling around it. But you can tell that something happened.
That was him. You saw that, right?
You saw what you had to see, Cody.
But did you
All
see
I
it?
did is help you create a space that you can try to find on your own. And maybe with practice and patience, you can develop a deeper connection within yourself. But I have only started the journey.
I can ask patience, but who's practice?
All you can do, Cody, is repeat this every day. Focusing on yourself. Train your heart and your mind to take you there. Remember the comfort, that serene sensation of seeing Alpha again. Use that as your center. Keep yourself grounded.
Thank you, Merrick. You're a really good teacher.
I am just a student of life, my friend.
I think you're a teacher of life as well.
Well, maybe one day.
I give him a big hug.
I hug him back. Forearms.
You see the plant as you guys are ending your meditation session. The bulbs that were starting to grow now develop into almost like immediately they like drop down into large grape-sized fruit, similar to the ones that you saw in the roots of Kaya. You can tell that these are like sort of like the waters of Kaya, but like mini, little like bite-sized ones instead of like the large watermelon-sized ones before.
Cody, what do these do again? They tripped us out, right?
I believe they gave us big old memories.
Yeah, you remember them. They were hallucinogenics, essentially.
All right, let's hold on to these just in case. It's going to be a stressful couple of days.
Okay.
Actually, Cody, I hand one of them to Cody, and I say, if you need to see something in a desperate time, take this with you. I think my little friend would like you to have it.
Is this okay, Tree? I don't want to pluck from you. If
like a thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
The motes also then turn into a clock, and it begins like ticking.
That's
I think you got
terrifying.
I think you got to slam it now, Cody. Cody, slam it.
It goes thumbs down.
Oh, don't slam it.
And then points to itself and like ticking.
Are
you dying? My child.
It makes like where you just pluck that where that fruit was, it makes another sort of like light version of it.
Oh, you grow. It's okay, but I guess I'll do the harvest and we'll get a new batch in a little bit.
And then it gives you a thumbs up.
Okay, how many do we get in total, Dave?
You have 3 right now.
I gave one to Cody, so I have 2.
I think we are at Knee. You are looking for the blood letter base. So I'm going to let you guys all roll perception checks to see if you can sort of suss it out. Add an extra +2 because you're using the sensors as well.
I get a 25.
Cool.
Dirty 30? 32.
Lost my dice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I did add the +2.
28. Sorry, 30 with the +2.
Durrin and Merrick, you both spot an asteroid that sticks out. Now that you know like kind of what you're looking for, you can see it almost immediately that there is an asteroid that isn't quite rotating with the rest of them. This one seems it's just like static, which you know most likely is because of like stabilizers and dynamic thrusters that are constantly keeping it upright, and you are able to spot it amongst the asteroid belt.
Sure, Jack. How many life signs do you got down there?
He jumps on, he does a quick little scan, he says, looks like about 30 or so.
I can take 30 blood letters.
Yeah, let's go do this. And I spin the ship down towards the asteroid.
Don't want to comms them first?
Yeah, we'll comms them first. They might shoot at us.
We're not going to comms them at all.
Hello? No? Cody, hit the comms.
Surprise. That's what we're going to do. Like we're Durrin.
Listen to the captain.
What are you doing?
We're sending a message. Yeah, we're going to send a message first.
Cody stops the ship and looks at the captain.
You send a comms, and it opens up, and there's 2 blood letters looking at you, being like, how'd you get this channel?
Is Salvian home?
Yeah, Salvian home.
They like look around, and then like you can hear the like whispering off screen.
Tell him it's the metal snowman.
There's a big hand comes in, like almost the size of like one of these guys' heads, and just throws the 2 of them aside. And first it's just belly, like that's all you see. And then he drops down into the seat, and Salvian is there, and he says, "What the hell do you guys want?"
You want to kick your ass, and then you're going to help us.
Cody, don't. Oh.
We're putting together a force. Unfortunately, the reckoning isn't over. We expect a large army to invade Casa-Mal within a fortnight. I don't know the timeline, but eventually.
You know that thing that you guys helped do? The really bad thing? The bad shit?
Cody?
Yeah,
I'm like pushing myself through both of them.
Cody, you're hot today.
Spicy.
Salvian ordered an ass kicking, and it's been on its way for a long time.
Oh my god.
We're looking to recruit you to our war effort. I know you've also taken losses, but unless everyone in Casa-Mal bands together, it's game over. And we're willing to put in a good word for the bloodletters, yourself included, that when this is over, maybe we're looking at pardons. You can do your own thing, be a mercenary corps that's licensed.
You can see his eyes like darting off screen as you're talking. He says, "Come on board. We'll talk in person."
Sure. Cody, now you can bring us down.
I do.
Cody, are we going to turn down the spiciness from that 10 to maybe a 6?
He'll get what he needs. I pull in.
I see it's still at a 10. Okay.
These guys suck, but we're going to give them a chance, but we're not going to forget things, are we?
No. Well, in desperate times call for desperate measures, Cody.
I'm going to punch him desperately. I walk out.
Okay.
That's what diplomacy is. It's, sure, you remember this, but like, we could still use them, right?
Hey, ass butt! I'm yelling as I'm coming out of the ship.
Oh.
Salvian is like marching full speed towards y'all with a platoon of bloodletters behind them. And as you guys disembark, they all raise their guns. And
that's fine.
Yeah.
At you guys, Salvian stays undrawn. It hasn't pulled his weapon out yet. And eventually there's like a parting of the crowd, and Salvian takes a step back, and that Yosoki that you saw on Surth comes like floating out on his like little chair, his little hover chair. And he says, "So, you've come back to make a deal, have you? What do you have off for me?"
We don't kick all your asses right here, right now, and you help us and the system, and maybe, just maybe after that, people will let you live in it because you did some bad stuff. That's my offer.
Hey, Cody, let's
No, this might work. These guys take to violence and harsh behavior. It's sort of it's their language. It's their love language.
Zoc looks at you and he laughs and he says, "You think you come in here to my home and make threats like this?"
Obviously,
yes. Yeah.
I ought to eradicate you. Launch your ship out right now. Send you out into space and watch your heads pop from the pressure.
You've lost a lot of people. Can you handle losing more?
We're all dollar signs, each and every one of us. We're just credits, willing to be spent and made. When we take a job, we take a job. They know what they're getting up to. They knew what they're signing up for.
Then this asteroid's an empty wallet.
Give me sense motive checks.
Ooh, actually a good one for once. But of course it's at a -2, so that'll be a 16.
Oh, 27.
25.
Durrin and Merrick, you can tell that Zoc unswayed. Zoc is a businessman. However, you can see the rest of the bloodletters growing annoyed. You can see that as Zoc is talking, his sort of tossing away of the situation that he put them in by taking the Sononis job is rubbing them the wrong way.
Cody, good job. Bloodletters, warriors, soldiers, you've been treated poorly by this floating sack
of poop
who has not cared about your value and your worth. Even you, Salvian, a warrior, great and strong, serving someone so weak and pathetic. What I'm giving you, what we're giving you, is a chance to fight for something good. What you get out of it, I can't promise, but what I will give you, and I will put my life on the line to give you, is a second chance. This has been a war of second chances. We will give you the right, or try to, I don't have the power yet, to pardon you from your crimes, let you work an honest business. Mercenaries for hire, licensed by the Federation. We will let you earn an honest wage the right way. And this way you get to go down, at the very least, fighting for yourself, for your families, for your future. Or you can sit here on this rock until the alien invasion storms in and kills you all.
As you are giving this impassioned speech, a liquor bottle gets whipped from the crowd, and it does score a critical hit on you.
Nice.
On Merrick?
Holy shit.
You take 20 points of slashing damage as this bottle shatters across your head. Someone in the crowd just says, "Shut up!"
Hey, okay, that's it. I'm kicking all your asses now. Who did that?
I put a hand up. I put a hand up to stop Cody.
I push him away. I walk up. Do I start with Zoc? Or do I start with that asshole?
As you push past, Salvian smiles and rolls up his sleeves. And he's like, "Yeah, and this is what I wanted." And charges you, Cody.
Fuck yeah. I charge him too.
Roll your attack, Cody.
That is going to be a 38.
Yeah, hit.
Durrin, we're going for a fist fight.
Yeah, as he comes in, I just fucking straight up like clock him right in the face. Like just a huge, big ol' swing, like telegraphed like a movie, just right in the face. Do you want me to roll damage?
Please, yeah, you rolled an attack roll.
What am I rolling with? I guess I have my boom knuckles on.
Is this the route you want to go, Merrick?
Fuck it, we need to get some tension out of our bodies. I think I fought 8 of these guys at once before. I'll do 16 this time.
25 points of damage to his face.
You drop Salvian to his knee.
Little rat's mine, then.
You deserved this. Who's next? Or are you going to grow a pair and help instead of hinder? Bottle guy, come on, Zoc, both of you at once.
You see Zoc he like presses the little thing on his chair and like kind of zips back. And when that happens, you see the bloodletters all like take note of it. And they say, "Hey, come on, boss, show them what you got." And you see Zoc once again, like kind of back up.
Captain to captain, Zoc. Come on, 1-on-1, winner takes all.
This isn't, you're horrible people.
I throw a bottle at Zoc. I pick up a bottle and I whip it at Zoc full power.
Roll me an attack roll.
Can I throw Salvian at him?
Just throw Salvian at him. What's my just thrown attack?
It'll just be
16.
ranged, right?
That's going to be a 30 to hit.
Yeah, you hit him.
A D4 plus my strength mod, I guess?
D6 for this guy.
So funny. I can't believe we're throwing bottles at each other in one of our penultimate episodes.
We've had a bar for so long. We haven't had a bar fight in it. It's always been out here.
Everyone get inside the ship real quick. Then let's settle this.
Let's get a proper bar fight.
33
points of damage.
Sorry. I gotta take off one more thing. Hold on. Just the bottle. It's 20 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Just
yeah, you fucking huck this bottle at Zoc, clock him right in the fucking head, and you see for a second he gets those like the stars in his eyes, and you can tell that you like almost knocked him out. His chair wobbles a little bit, and he's like, no, get him, and he like tries to turn around, and as he does, a group of bloodletters have kind of like surrounded him, and they're all like, "What are you doing, boss? You running from a fight, boss? What are you, a coward?" And they sort of like grab his chair and like tip it up. So he comes like falling out of it. And he gets up. He's like this big fat Yosoki. He like scrambles up to his feet. He's looking around and says, "You're all horrible people. I hate all of you. You're terrible, terrible, bad." Salvian gets up and draws his like little like blackjack and just cracks Zoc on the back of the head, and he collapses unconscious. And as he stands up, he looks at you and he says, "Where's the fight?"
We'll send you a time and place.
You'll be there?
Maybe.
We'll see you there.
And he spits out a glob of blood.
I spit out a glob of blood and say, "All right, maybe or maybe not see you there, dumbass."
I walk away, my arms spread, and there's like, "Metal snowman, motherfucker." Get back in the ship.
You see a bottle whiz over you and crash against the ship. And you hear like someone in the background just go, "Dude, we're done."
So here's our information. Just giving him a business card. We hope to see you there. And head back into the ship.
There's a guy in a suit who takes it. He's like, "Yeah, thank you. I'll have my people call your people."
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
Hello, friends. Spacey, I'm Jane here to do the things. First and foremost, we hope you're enjoying this week's episode. Second, thank you for everyone who voted for us in the Crit Awards. The voting is now closed, but if you voted and you showed your support for us, either for myself for Best GM or the show for Best Legacy Podcast, or our wonderful community artist, Nitlin, for their fan art, if you took the time to vote for us at all, we appreciate you, we love you, and thank you. This is the last Space Between episode before we go into the finale. I think there are 2 episodes left and then probably an epilogue. So 3 total episodes left of season 1. We will be continuing to run the Heart of Entropy series. That is going for, I think, a few more episodes. I think there's 4 more episodes of that. And then once we get into September, we're doing another sort of mini series with some excellent guests. We're really, really excited. We're going to announce that soon. And then after that, we're just going to kind of fuck around and find out. We're going to play some different systems. Some of us are going to take turns switching GMs. There's going to be all kinds of new and wonderful things. There's going to be some shuffling. We're going to try to get a bunch of guests on. We're going to be playing new systems. We're really, really excited for sort of the transition before we get into a season 2 proper, before we do like another long form campaign. We're going to be doing a bunch of smaller little mini series with, like I said, different guests, different systems. And we're just going to kind of play around and have fun and enjoy sort of a little bit of a break from doing a big, long season. So be on the lookout for that. And be sure to check out the Discord and the Patreon for opportunities to influence what we play. We'll be doing a Patreon poll towards the end of season 1 to see what system you guys want to see us play or who you want to see DM. There's going to be opportunities to cast your votes there. So you can head on over to noquestcast.com, click the Patreon button or click the Discord button to go to one or the other. And you'll be able to help us sort of like shape what the future of the show looks like. If you want to support the show, as previously mentioned, we do have a Patreon. You can head on over to patreon.com/noquestcast or noquestcast.com. Click the Patreon button, and you can sign up for various amounts of tiers. You get a smattering of stuff. Most importantly, the 10-minute rest, which is a 10-minute episode that is available to all paid tiers, where we talk about the latest episode, behind the scenes stuff. I think towards as we're going into these last couple episodes, I think you're going to start getting some juicy tidbits of like what could have happened and what the boys missed or didn't miss. And I'm really, really excited to talk about those. You can also head on over to MistyMountainGaming.com and treat yourself to a little something, a new set of dice or a dice bag or a laptop holder or whatever you want. They have all of your TTRPG needs. And with our code NOQUEST10, you can save 10% off the entire store. Once again, that is 10% off the entire store using our code NOQUEST10. That, I think, is gonna do it for this week, friends. Like I said, short, quick, and easy. We hope you enjoy the rest of the episode, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Art, punk, rebellion. The 3 ingredients to create the perfect setting. What if I told you you can run any game of your choice in this city? You name it. D&D, Monster of the Week, Gumshoe, City of Mist, Kids on Brooms, even Call of Cthulhu. Magnolia, City of Marvels, setting of art, punk, and rebellion, is a system-agnostic micro-setting set in a fantasy world city. A revolution in art is going on in this city, where art takes the central place. A government in which the nobles are the ones who set the laws and control the guards means conservatism in art remains in power. But the arrival of the Purple Dragons, a new punk gang looking to free the art with new modern fashion styles, graffiti art, skateboarding pirouettes, and more, might change it all forever. Coming out June 27th on Kickstarter. Go check it out and get a free sample of the setting before you buy.
That was really fun. We haven't had a scrap in a little bit.
Man, they nailed you in the face. That was
oh
good
man,
toss.
that was a really.
Whoever threw that bottle, damn.
Yeah, no, he's a gunner. He's promoted.
I say we give that boy a bunch of grenades.
Grenade Boy was born today. All right.
As you guys are departing from the asteroid, shortly after you guys like undock and float out of the airlock, you shortly see a Yosoki on a floating chair get ejected into space as well.
Nice.
He sucked. I'm not sad about that.
Okay, great. You were on the way to Useron, I believe, right? I think that's our next stop. Great.
Let's not fight at this one, please. I don't think we can. That's not one. This is a no fighting, Cody.
Cody's
okay?
like reclined on the pilot's chair, like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think Cody's angry at Lady Emberheart, so I think we're all right.
You guys enter the drift and pull out into Useron, and what you're looking at now is just the floating rubble of a planet. Large chunks. You can see sort of these green energy tendrils of the Iberium entering it, like touching space, like open air, that's kind of like how it becomes toxic, is when it hits oxygen. And now you can tell that like now that it's like out in space, there's like another reaction happening, and they're almost like the ore of Iberium deep within the planet is now almost like tethering the chunks together, and they form these sort of like weaving snake-like energy tendrils from ore to ore, and the planet is planet-shaped but exploded. And it almost looks like an aurora borealis in terms of like the nature of these tendrils. You can tell that they're not like physical, they're just sort of spectral. Please give me, I think perception checks is how you will go about this.
21.
29.
Cathan
rolling so
also
bad. 27. I do want to be next to Cathan during this, not necessarily just a presence. Durrin's trying to be kind of comforting, so...
Yeah, you all catch a glimpse. There is, amongst this sort of like sea of blues and greens and these spectral patterns from the Iberium leaking out into space, you see a warmth, a red and orange. There's a glow behind one of the rocks, and as you crest through it and behind it, you see a crystallized small figure. It's this like crystal of red and orange and yellow, and as it shifts and changes, you can see sort of like a glimmer from the hard edges, and inside you can see the shape of a woman.
Do we take the time bomb into our ship?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Give me a, what is it? It's life science, I think.
Bold of you to assume we have that. I've got 4 in it.
I'll also accept a medical check.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I put some stats in this. Might as well give it a roll.
I've got a 37.
Jesus Christ.
That beats me.
I have a 19.
For medical.
25.
Was that physical science, Terry?
No,
25?
life science.
Life science, sorry. Life science, okay. Durrin.
Oh.
You know that this is what is known as elemental chrysalis. It is a phenomena that happens when exposed to sort of like cosmic radiation and strong elemental energies. When they sort of like combine, they essentially harden into elemental crystals. And you can tell that this is what's happened to Lady Amberheart. She has gone into a chrysalis situation. Cody, with your check, you know that she could be alive in there in almost like a stasis form, but it's rare that a living creature undergoes this. This is usually what happens to elementals that are brought into space and exposed to sort of like this cosmic radiation. They usually just like harden, and that is it's usually how you make materials with elemental abilities. Elementals are exposed, they turn into a chrysalis, and then they like chisel off pieces of it, and the elemental is sort of like dissipated into the crystal. Because this is a person, you don't really know how this is going to go. However, it's with your incredible medicine check, you know that removing her from space is probably the worst thing that you could do for her in terms of surviving. Bringing her out of space would remove that cosmic radiation and would sort of render the crystal inert. And the crystal's energy is sort of the only thing that could be keeping her alive. You don't even know if she's alive. She could be dead, and just the sheer amount of like elemental energy that was in her made this regardless. But it makes the most sense in terms of preserving her until you can kind of like figure out a way to go and collect her, to just leave her.
I don't think if we bring her in, I think she's toast. If she's even still alive in there.
Is she sentient at all? Do you know? Aware of time passing is what I mean.
If she's alive, maybe, but there's no way to tell.
You would know, again, with your check, if she is alive, she's like in a coma.
Okay.
Like she's sort of like been put into stasis.
If she's alive, she's out.
Cool. Cathan, if you want to leave a note, maybe?
Do you want to try to talk to her?
Cathan looks out and he says, I knew Lady Amberheart for quite a while, and of all the time that I've known her, this is the most peaceful I've ever seen her.
We'll leave her be. Okay. She deserves rest after all she's been through.
You see he pulls up a data pad. He opens up like a star map and puts like a little dot on it so that he can like know. And then he goes over, whispers something to Short Jack. Short Jack taps a little bit something, and you see like a little like dart shoot out, and it pings onto the crystal, and you just see a small little like blip of light every now and then. And he says, if we can figure out a way to transport her or get her, we'll know where to find her.
Okay.
I'm glad we tried.
I think we need some boozy milkshakes.
Yeah, we have a spot.
Yeah.
The best spot.
We should franchise this place. If this is like when this is over and we survive, we should start franchising. I don't even remember the name of the restaurant, but
I don't either.
I don't know.
did we ever name it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it was just sort of like
Just
an 80s
sports
diner
car
that you guys found.
booth seats.
Yeah. As you guys are heading over to Surth, Jenny and Shortjack kind of call a crew meeting in the middle, and Shortjack has something under a big tarp, and Jenny is standing there just as sort of like his assistant, kind of. And Shortjack jumps down from a little stool and he says, so I know that we have been through a lot, and I spent a lot of my life looking for where I came from and my family and who I was. And you guys answered those questions, and I don't mean by getting me to Ni and finding Kakinto and finding my family. It was by bringing me on the ship and showing me Casa-Mal and empowering me and encouraging me and showing me that I was more than just a little guy that crashed on a planet and could fix ships. So I wanted to thank you, and I didn't really know how, but I think we've been pretending for a little too long, and we kind of made this decision on Axiom. At least you guys did. I think it's time that we stop pretending that we're anything other than what we are. And he pulls the tarp off, and Jenny helps lift it off. And the neon sign that once belonged to Victor Benson, that once read, "Don't be a hero," has now been trimmed. The "don't" no longer being part of the sign. And it just says, "Be a hero." Jenny gives a short strum of her guitar as a red electric bolt goes into it and powers it. You can tell that it's not plugged in, and she says, "This goes out when we do. We ain't going out, at least not without a fight." And Shortjack uses his telekinetic ability to lift it up and place it on the wall. And Zelphus comes out with a tray of like champagne and begins handing it around. And he says, "I don't know what's going to happen when we get to fighting, but if I'm going to die, I can't think of a better crew to do it with." And he raises a glass.
Be a hero.
Let's be a hero.
Let's do it.
Zelphus's hand just engulfs the glass, and you can see the liquid like float out of it, and everyone drinks.
Little Zelphus inside all of us.
Catherine looks at everyone and says, "It's rare that you get to find a second family, and I was lucky to find a third. I'll fight with you guys to the end, because I know you do that for me. Hell, you almost did. Thank you."
Cheers to that.
You guys pull out of the drift to Surth.
I have the dress on. I'm not happy about it, but it's on.
The lights and sort of grandeur of Surth are dimmed. There's no big spotlights. The neon around the floating rock platform are out. It seems like the complete opposite to when you first visited Surth. And when you land in the bazaar, it's quiet.
Did we check any news updates on Surth before coming out here? This
the
feels
reckoning.
weird.
Last time we saw
the reckoning, but
they were trying to collapse the fucking platforms on top of each other. Are they all intact?
They are, yes. You can tell that you saved the day before they drop the platforms on one another. But the pings and the whistles and the bells of the casinos and arcades are silent. The flickering neon of the bars and the theaters are also dim. Occasionally you'll see one of them flicker to life for a very brief moment, and then with a shower of sparks explode and then go dark once again. There are very few people on the streets. Those that are seem to be moving quickly and cautiously. There are quite a few dead bodies strewn about. Some on the more sort of like busy streets have been pulled and piled in corners, but down the alleys you can see bodies dead and discarded.
They've just been left there.
It's not a good sign.
No.
Let's go to the top.
Yeah.
No point wasting time.
As you guys make your way to the central like column elevator, you realize that the power is out. You press the button, and there's no power. However, behind you, you hear footsteps and a voice say, "If you're going topside, you'll need my help." And behind you is a golden tiger Patra, Jakul, Victor Benson's former friend. He is bad. There's a whole chunk of fur missing from like the top left shoulder. You can see that he has deep cuts underneath his fur on his face. His arm probably is broken. You can tell the way he's favoring it, and he has a gunshot wound that has been tied off on his thigh. His uniform, his like Surf security personnel uniform, is scorched and covered in blood and fills with rips and tears and holes. And he comes over to the elevator and presses a key card underneath the button, and you see on the screen where that shows you like what floor you're on, it just says security override, and the doors ding open.
I hold out a hand. It's good to see you.
He gives you a very loose grip and like just sort of like a one shake, and he just says, "I don't know what you're looking to find here, but I don't think you're gonna find it."
Clearly, what did we miss after the reckoning?
The reckoning didn't happen here. There was no. This was us. When chaos descended on the system, the corporations decided it was their chance to take Surth back. They formed an alliance, and they took out Voltaire.
Voltaire's gone.
Yeah.
Who's in charge now?
It's a coalition of all the corporations that still exist on Surth. They banded together, pooled their resources. They took him out.
Who's the head?
Susan Roque?
No, she was arrested. Jakul says that's the thing. The seat's gone. There is no one person. They've created a Hydra-like situation.
Oh, I know Hydra-like situations.
The rules of Surth is whoever sits on the seat rules Surth. If you don't know who sits there, and if there is no seat, then there's no power exchange. If you think you know who it is and you kill them, another one takes their place, and it's situation normal. This won't last forever. The corporations won't stay in a coalition. The greed will get to them eventually, and there will be another coup, and it'll be another fucking massacre. But like I said, I don't know what you're looking for, but it's probably not here.
What are they even controlling at this point?
Yeah, that's kind of the point. They squabbled over that, and the plan was to drop the plates so that only the dome was left. We were able to stop that, thankfully, but there's not much left of the other levels. The drip, gone, pretty much. The bazaar, as you can see, dead.
Mission to Malibu?
Jakul says the drip is actually kind of a refuge now. Those who were on the drip reached down and took as many as they could up, knowing that the bazaar would be hit the hardest if the plates were to be dropped. So a lot of the bazaar still lives on in the drip. But as for individual bars, I don't know. You'll have to check that yourself.
All right, let's go to the drip and check in with Mission to Malibu.
Yeah, and our boozy milkshake place is here. Is it open? Is it okay? Rush down the road.
I'm really bummed because I just came up with a name for it as we landed, but I thought it would be a lot more fun on Surth, and I was excited to drop it. But what do we think of? Because it's like a milkshake, I assume ice cream parlor-y kind of place with like these car seats. Tokyo Snowdrift.
That's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Fair.
Yep, sure. Goddamn, Tokyo Snowdrift, no.
How's Tokyo Snowdrift?
Gone.
No!
Well, what's the fucking
No!
point? Paradoxus has taken the only thing that kept us together. I walk in and I smash the sign and it just says, "Don't be."
The like robot server that took your order is she's like suspended from the ceiling, wrapped up in wires, destroyed.
How did you do this to us?
When she sees you approach, a faint robotic voice says, the regular boys.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I'll take the regular.
she'll never give us a napkin again.
We're gonna go kill some billionaires.
Is nothing sacred to them? Nothing?
This place was meant for joy. Built on joy.
It was such a shithole. Are you talking about specifically Tokyo Snowdrift? Because yes.
Talking about this, I was
We're
talking about
Tokyo Snowdrift, yeah.
Mostly Snowdrift.
If you would like to check on Mikhail and Lustin, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we go up though, I kind of like pat Jakul. Is he coming up with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You pretty much need him to get to the next floors. They've been locked down.
we have some news about Victor.
He turns his head, like cocks his head.
He's gone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I imagined as much.
He fought the good fight, though.
He always did. You get up onto the trip, and it's once again like a night and day shift. What was originally before when you first were here, this was like even the street was a nightclub. It was a party. It was a festival, people posing off, and now the only real illumination is from the pipes underneath the street, those purple and green and blue sludges that illuminated the drip originally. That's kind of it. All the signs are gone out. You can see the slurp sign has fallen and crashed, the mouth now shattered on the ground, but you do see and hear noises coming from Mission to Malibu, and when you approach it, you see that it has become sort of a refuge center. It was a huge bar, and now you can see there's a triage set up outside with some tents and cots with people coughing, and then people inside being fed, served some pretty simple food and fare. But it seems like this has now become one of the havens of Surth.
Do we see Mikhail?
You do see Mikhail. You don't see Lustin.
I go up to Mikhail.
For a second, he doesn't even recognize you. He doesn't. He just says, "If you need attention, go to the front. If you're looking for food, get in line in the back. Anything else, try to help where you can."
Yeah, just let me know where I can help. It's good to see you.
He turns around when he hears your voice, and he just says, "Oh boy," and he gives you a huge hug. And then places his hands on Merrick's shoulder and a hand on your shoulder, Durrin. He just says, and when he sees Jenny, he runs over and gives her a big hug as well. And he just says, "We're in the shits, boys. We are in the shits."
Is Priest here?
You don't see Priest, no.
I'm so sorry about everything.
What can we do to help?
I can do medical things. I'm a kind of a doctor now, kind of.
I think we need to get these people off planet. This isn't good.
Yeah.
He nods and he says, that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been using the little bit of funds that I've had left to charter ships off. We've been getting them out to the cube for now, but unfortunately there was really nowhere safe to bring them. So for a while we were just kind of chartering ships to fly around and float out in space. But now that everything is settled down, they're being dropped off at the cube. I wasn't exactly raking in the cash here, and my credits are running real slim.
Well, we can bring some. We're heading to Therum.
Yeah. Anyone you can take, I would appreciate it. It's bad. Surth is, in my opinion, done for. And if the corporations want to rule an empty planet, that's fine. Or an empty station, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't give a single shit about them. They can drop the plates. They can fucking crash if they want. But if we can get everyone off, then that's something. Or at least as much as we can.
I'm going to start treating the wounded if I can.
Yeah, roll me a medicine check.
That is a 26.
Yeah, great. You're able to help pretty quickly. You're able to jump in on the triage and perform some pretty basic first aid, adding an extra pair of hands to sort of alleviate the actual sort of doctors in allowing them to focus on sort of more emergency issues. Zelphus does the same. Zelphus is jumping in and helping where he can as well. Shortjack and Jenny are just sort of going around and checking on people and raising morale a little bit. And then you get a call on your comms, and it's a familiar number, but it's blocked. It's like an unknown caller, but you can see the number, and over the line you hear, "Gentlemen, I can see that you are on Surth, and I just wanted to, as people who have done me a solid in the past, I just wanted to give you the heads up that perhaps that's not the safest place to be. I would highly recommend vacating that spot immediately. My contacts in the upper echelon in the dome say that this thing is going to blow up any chance. And I don't mean actually blow up. I just mean kind of like a powder keg situation where it is volatile."
Don't suppose you have a few spare ships, Nix?
A few spare? I'm a shipping magnate. I have ships to spare.
We need to get some refugees off planet.
He's not going to do it for free.
Well, I think he owes us, kind of.
Nick says, I don't really do anything for free, as Durrin said. However, you did look out for me, and I do sort of owe you a favor. And, it's good press is always good for business. I can send over a couple shuttles. We can get those people off. And then maybe I can find a ground hold within Cirth and expand the Empire on the upswing.
We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll throw a few ad reads in there for you and we'll do it.
He says, now you've got yourself a deal. However, I do want to stress that you all might not want to stick around. It is kind of widely known that you were buddy-buddy with Voltaire. Even if you weren't actually, you're known associates, and they are doing their best to purge all of Voltaire's influence off of Cirth.
I want to destroy everyone. I want to go up to the top floor, and I want to eradicate all these greedy bastards who are proving Iridaxis right. What's the point of me preaching second chances when people are going to take advantage of horrible situations to do harm to innocents when there's crisis for their own goddamn selfish good? Someone call Mazo. Buy everything. Mazo, buy everything. You have infinite wealth. Crush all these corporate bastards.
I agree, but
at this point, they're ruling nothing.
We need to save these people. We need to stop Iridaxis, and then let's come back. I don't think saving the system stops today or tomorrow.
A man in a cloak sitting in the corner stands up.
God damn it.
And walks over to you and says, I agree with you. In fact, I think you have some excellent points. And in fact, I think perhaps buying Cirth is an excellent idea. And he lowers his cloak, and you recognize Bryce Wade, billionaire, trillionaire maybe, philanthropist, playboy, Bryce Wade of Wade Enterprises, says, that's what I've been trying to do. I pulled Wade Enterprises out of the dome and didn't participate in the disgusting behavior of those up top. But
it's an honor to finally meet you, Bryce Wade.
And you as well. And he gives you a firm handshake.
Firm handshake, yes.
And he says, I've been trying to broadcast what's been happening up there in an effort to tank all of the company's stocks so that they drop low enough that I can buy them. I'm almost there. When it happens, I will restore Cirth and the people. I will do away with this caste system, these levels. I will make Cirth available to all. Leave Cirth to me. You have a bigger fight.
Is FB2K in this room?
Give me a perception check.
God damn, how do you remember every name?
It's
name. So impressive.
My brain is not useful for a lot of things, and some of the things are pointless. I got a 29.
You hear a clacking, a furious clacking in the back room where the office is, and you can see sort of LED lights in this back room.
Well, I don't know if you have a hacker, but I know someone who might be able to help you get the message out.
He looks around and he says, I've been directed towards a industrious young man, or rather an acquaintance of mine was, I have to go. And he puts his foot up and he disappears into the crowd.
Does Paramom come around the corner?
God, we have to go now.
You see a woman stand up from outside of the kitchen and she says, Merrick, is that you?
God, we have to go. Wade's right. We have bigger fish to fry. We'll come back and help him when we're done.
Do we go do the thing in the alley now, or do you want...
I love that during this whole really serious thing, Durrin's been wearing a dress, and we all come out of the ship all happy and oh man.
I think RM needs to stay here and help. I don't think we can afford to take him with us.
Yeah, I think we help them. They don't help us. I find Mikhail and Nyx Taloa will be bringing ships to get you off planet.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Because I'm down to my last credit and I don't know how long I can keep doing this.
We're heading to Goa. So anyone who doesn't have plant-based allergies can come with us.
Really chill place.
Yeah, you see a few people volunteer to go, but I think a good chunk of them are going to wait for the cube and Nyx's ships.
Cool.
But yeah, you get a small sort of contingent of of sort of like Sirth refugees who are willing to go to Goa. Great. And you guys head on over to Goa. You guys land at Kaya, and the scene is similar to Sirth, where it's grim. The tree is all but destroyed. The leaves are sparse. The ground of Kaya has sort of like been blanketed in these dried, shriveled brown leaves. The community itself seems to be okay for the most part. There's a lot of sort of structural damage, but they seem to be repairing it pretty quickly, as is like the siege that happened when you were first there. But you can tell that like Kaya was hit real hard and irreversibly hard. The tree is destroyed. And when you land, you are met with a small group of verdant guards and patients who looks like the wound that he dealt or was given during the fight is starting to add up. He's a lot slower. He's far more reliant on the cane that he was using, and he looks a little more hunched over. He's not quite as tall as he once was. And when he sees you, he says, "I was not expecting to see you so soon. I figured you would have more pressing matters to attend to than here at Kaya."
Well, there is an overarching issue we have left to deal with but it looks like you guys are in rough shape.
Kaya has suffered a grievous loss. We've lost our namesake, but its roots still run deep. Just because it does not bloom any longer doesn't mean that it cannot provide protection, provide guidance. Losing Kaya was devastating. But as I said when you were first here, Kaya is us. Kaya is home. And as long as we live here, Kaya lives. If you need help, we will provide it. You saved us once, and it was an honor to fight by your side that time. It would be an honor to do it again, in defense of Kaya, in memory of Kaya, and for the people of Kaya.
Don't overextend yourself. Only as much as you can spare. You have a situation here clearly to deal with.
The people of Kaya will make their decision. Those who wish to fight will fight. Those who wish to stay will stay. I will not force anyone to do what they don't want to do.
We also have some refugees from Sirth, if that's not gonna overtax you.
It will not. We welcome them kindly and warmly. We will have a meal prepared for them. We'll find shelter and food.
Thank you, patience. As always.
You're truly some of the best people.
You can see that amongst some of the Kaya regulars that you saw, there's quite a few of the people from the Fringe are also here. And you can see the people who have been here for a while now starting to adapt some of that like plant-like matter. So you see some of their hair has been like entwined with vines or flowers or grass. It's subtle because they haven't been here long, but you can tell that a lot of the people from the Fringe have kind of adapted quite well to life in Kaya and are sort of part of the community and helping out. And Patience says, "We listened to the teachings of Kaya, and with that we learned harmony. We can spread those teachings. It is not too late for us as a system, as a people. But first we need to defend it. We will be a part of that defense." And it takes about like a half day for people to rally, and you see a small sort of like battalion of Verdant Guard. You see some of the people who were willing to fight, some of the like just regular civilians. You see some of the Fringe folk also come out in sort of like their battle garb. And then you see a small fleet of Verdant Guard ships. They are these brass and green ships that look almost like Dragonfly-esque. They're like really heavy on the front, and then they have these like sleek long bodies and these sort of like clear wings that kind of like stretch out. And you have added Goa, or at least Kaya, to your forces.
We got Mo and Poe in there?
Mo and Poe are sitting out.
What? Damn it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Too power. It would be
They've been
too
around a while.
OP.
Yeah, they are old, but you can see that they have their elevator. Their elevator was built.
Hell yeah. Good.
Mo and Poe comes over and just says,
Mo really wanted to fight. Trust me, but it would be too much. I don't think she would be able to withstand it. And I know that breaks her heart. And I know she wishes she was on the front line with you. But if we're losing as many people as we are to this fight, we need someone to defend Kaya. And I can't think of someone better than my sweet Mo.
Agreed. Sometimes you gotta keep your best cards in your back pocket.
You see her sitting on a rocking chair with her giant like 45,
Just
loading it, polishing it.
God.
Cyrus and Andre and Michael doing well. They're there. They're not joining us, right?
They're there. They're not going for the fight.
I'm the same reaction as you, right?
I don't remember. Sure. I hope they're okay.
The married couple. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We got it. We got
hot-ass
their
gardening. How could you ever forget the hot-ass gardening? Or I guess it wasn't gardening; it was rebuilding. But
yeah, they're doing all right. But they went through a lot to not be separated.
Yeah,
they're not taking any risk. They're staying together.
Those ones I want to make sure aren't coming with us.
Yeah, no, they're staying and helping with the rebuilding.
Let's bring their child for war.
I tell them about how I found Alpha, thank them for their help. And before we leave, I want to visit Eska's grave. And then that's me.
Sure. As you're leaving, Durrin, Patience pulls you aside.
It's good to see you.
It is good to see that you are well as well. I want to remind you of the offer I made you. There will always be a place for you at Kaya. I understand that now is the time for your past to protect us. But when you're ready to embrace the future, I hope that you keep us in mind.
I will, Patience. I have to say, I'm a lot lighter. I'm not carrying as much as I used to. But I'm also tired. So tired. And after all's done, if I survive all this, I think I'll need a place to lay down some roots of my own.
He nods and he says, the ground in Kaya is soft.
Thank you for your offer, my friend. I will take you up on it.
He extends a paw, lays it flat for you to place your hand in his, and he squeezes it. And he says, good luck. I hope you come back. Off to Therum, your final stop. When you land on Therum, you get a message from Astrid. It gives you coordinates in which to land. As you're coming in, you see sort of like the Cerulean Sea. The water expanse that covers the entire planet is beautiful. It's untouched. It's unchanged. But as you approach Therum, you see the missing district, the hexagonal plate that was dropped into the ocean during the Reckoning. And you realize just how much has been lost here. But you are brought into what was once the Ministry of Defense's headquarters. And as you are landing, you see kind of what Astrid has done. And it is your work for you. It is a small army. It's not a small army. It's a fucking army. It's huge. And as you land, you see fleets of Ministry of Defense ships, warships, super destroyers. You see Sev Drepka standing beside her. Nice. With the fleet of the Archons, the ones that remain at least 5 of them. And you see Ross and Link and a good smattering of Ministry of Defense officers who, as soon as you land, run over to you and sort of like salute you. Astrid gives you a wry smile. Sev Drepka also gives you a strong salute. And Astrid comes over to you and says, first and foremost, Thimble's there with her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She fucking full tilts towards
Straight up
Durrin.
Hug. 100% hugs.
And gives you a huge hug.
I'm glad you made it.
You too.
And Astrid says, okay, if we're going to war, we might as well have, I guess, the second best army in the system. The Archons have agreed to help. Those who remain in the Ministry of Defense that weren't silvered are at our disposal as well. And we're ready. We figured it out. We know how to get you into the fold. And Ross comes over with Link, and Link is carrying this like big crate, almost as big as he is, and he like waddles over and he says, all right, here it is, guys. Check it out. And he like hops over the front, grabs the latches and pulls it back. And inside are these small devices that look like they almost look like old school like Xbox 360 headsets.
Nice. Jeez.
They like sit up, like they don't like, they're like headphones that go all the way around, but they, instead of like coming down into a microphone, it's these two sort of like implants that go into the temple and then loop around into sort of like where the jugular is in the neck. And Ross says, now I understand that you're all going into the fold. Now I'm sure you've been explained by Astrid that the fold is able to undo pretty much the psychic being and physical being of someone who's going in unprepared. The reason for that is because of the possibility of creation. The fold is creation itself. It is the chaos of creation. So how do we combat that?
Well, we opened your mind up to all possibilities.
That sounds awful. That sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, boys, this ain't going to be pleasant, but it is going to be temporary. Once you go in, you're going to have to put on these. They're neuroreceptors. They're equalizers. They're essentially going to allow your body to withstand, and your brain to withstand, a torrent of possibility. And in order to do that, boys, y'all going to need to trip balls real hard.
Oh, I can help with that.
She says, what do you mean?
I've got the good stuff.
He pulls out a bag of drugs.
Just some acid.
I pull out my little water seeds.
She pulls a little scanner out and she says, are those waters of Kaya?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Waters of Merrick's bedroom, more or less, but...
God.
Oh, no. No.
Astrid makes a terrible face and just says, I don't think you should ever say that ever again.
Oh, no, I did not. Oh, God.
It's the worst combination of words.
As in smirk, though, is the worst part.
Oh, no.
Ross is like, I was going to give y'all just a shit ton of LSD, but the waters of Kaya are quite literally the most potent psychedelic that I'm sure that we've ever discovered. So, yeah, that'll work nicely.
We could do both.
No, good Lord. Do not.
Yeah, Tone, that's a terrible idea, Cody.
It is a one or the other situation, and I highly recommend the waters of Kaya. Natural and very potent. Also, very safe. They've been using them for years.
Well, that's good.
So, gentlemen, if you're heading into the fold, I think you've got all the pieces.
So does this mean only the three of us can go into the fold?
There is enough for your whole crew.
Oh, so they have to do the LSD. Okay.
Oh, all right, everyone, gather around.
Well, you know that your plant is making more.
Okay, yeah.
I'm ready to do drugs and fight with my friends.
There's actually quite a few neural receptors. So, like, there's a good chunk, so more than you will be able to come, depending on who wants to. But there's certainly enough for you and all your crew.
All right.
Astrid walks over to you and says, I don't think that Eridaxis is just going to let us walk in. When we arrive at the fold, we need to be prepared. It's going to be a fight. He's going to make sure that we can't get in. We're going to do our best to punch a hole for you. It is not your job to fight the incoming forces. It's your job to get in and to stop Eridaxis. Do not get held up. This isn't the time to make the sacrifice play.
Okay.
Let us do the fighting. You guys do the saving. Okay?
Yeah, of course.
We can.
Great. We'll see you there. And Astrid turns and Thimble hands her a little device that she puts on her chest. And when she does, she gets enwrapped in this kick-ass set of armor.
Nice.
And
yeah.
Sev Drepka tosses her a little baton that turns into a giant fucking sword. And Astrid makes her way to one of the super destroyers.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely going to give Thimble one last hug before we saunter off. Not sure whether we make it all through this or not, but I plan on holding up on Kaya afterwards if you ever want to come visit or hang around. You know, whatever is happening with this.
Thimble wraps her hands, intertwines her fingers with yours, and she says, wherever you end up, I'll end up.
Those are dangerous words, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
She walks and begins skipping to catch up to Astrid, and she turns around and she says, Durrin, don't die.
You too.
And she joins Astrid's side. Sev rallies up the Archons. You see them all sort of like jump up into the cockpits, and you hear them all beginning to power up. The whir of engines becomes deafening as all the Ministry of Defense ships begin activating their launch procedures. You get into the Persistence and set a course to what you know is the edge of the universe, the Fold. Is there anything you guys would like to do? This is the you can't turn back after this point warning. So make a save file right now.
Okay. Done. Quick save. Yep.
Is there anything y'all want to do? Talk to, say, leave behind?
Before we head off, I call a crew meeting of Merrick and Durrin.
Oh.
Yes?
There are
Okay.
still some people we haven't called, and I don't know if it's unfair to call them or if it's unfair to not call them. Quip, Query, Vale.
They've done their part. They've given all they could to this cause, and I am happy to let them live out the rest of their lives or whatever time they have left where they are with loved ones by their side.
Let's shoot him a message at least. Doesn't have to be like a call. Just like, this is what's happening. We wish you the best, but if it was me, I know I'd want the option.
Yeah, I feel like they left to protect people, and if we don't give them at least a heads up, maybe they can't protect them to the best of their ability. I agree with Durrin.
A quick text,
Sure, be my guest.
Hey guys, what's up? Another apocalypse. LOL. Hope you're doing good.
We'll be here if you want to join.
Yeah, if you want to shoot a message out to Quip Query, Vale, and company, for sure. Cool. You do that. You enter the drift and are deposited at the edge of the universe. You see almost like a rolling wave, as if someone was constantly folding out lines of a textile, an ever-ending fabric of reality just being emerged in front of you. You see it. There's a ripple in reality in front of you as you watch the universe expand. The very presence of it makes you feel uneasy, makes you feel nervous and scared and hopeful and happy. There's a moment where you have to sort of resist the urge to chuckle or to cry, or you're just so overwhelmed by emotion as you watch existence be created. You alone, the persistence in the void of space, stands before the fold. And then the purple rift opens up and the Sononan Armada appears. Another one on the opposite side as the Ministry of Defense and Theram's full force, the Federation's full force, the Archons, the Ministry of Defense. You see Astrid come out in a super destroyer borrowed from one of her longtime friends. Then you see a small drift open up and a smattering of blood-red ships of the Bloodletters join you. The brass and green ships of Kaya join beside them. The white ivory ships, the ornate, beautiful ships of the cannon appear beside you, their power cores swirling in the center of their ships. A small fleet of unmanned, robotic, contra-dynamic defense personnel, your droid army, a small army joins you. And then from the fold, a ship about as big as the biggest ship on your side. And then two more, and then smaller ones, all coming in one at a time, blinking into existence, until you stand face to face with an entire army, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the size of yours, all just rapidly growing by the second, starting to dwarf what looked like a mighty force that you had put together is now minuscule in comparison to the army in front of you. And they're standing between you and the fold, between you and Eridaxis, between you and saving Casa-Mal.